So we've spoken about making some opportunities work for you in the process, but how do you do this in the light of the media? The media love coming to call when things are not going quite as well as one would have hoped, or badly, or things are on fire in terms of that sort of side. So how do you come out on top in your various brush with journalists? And we have some guys on our panel who are quite experienced in this regard, with this to do with this hypothetical. So let's consider this situation. You're relaxing, having a lovely time. You suddenly get a phone call out of the blue from a journalist because apparently your research group has been mentioned negatively in a most inappropriate way in an online news article. People are already starting to tweet and to call you, and you need to move very, very quickly. What do you do? What's your strategy? And how do you prioritise your actions? Let's hear from David.
Great question. I would absolutely, categorically, as a scientist, immediately call my communications officer at the Florey and say, please deal with this problem, because I don't know what to do about it. And I think it's if you are part of a large organisation like that has people who do those things, be aware that interacting with the media it's a skill set, man. And it's okay to ask people who know how to do it well to do it on your behalf.
Very good. Jack.
It's amazing how quickly journalists can find your number or anyone's number within the organisation when they want a comment on a crisis or something that's happened. The number one rule and piece of advice that I got given when I was starting my career in communications is whatever the situation is, whatever however quickly you feel you need to respond, always take a step back and take a moment to plan. And so that might be calling your the head of comms within your organisation. It might be calling a trusted advisor, or it might be just taking 5 minutes to plan and to step through the situation. And that might mean when you look at all the information and the question that's being asked, the best response might be no response. Or the best response might be through someone else. So taking that time to plan at the beginning, having taken that time, you can then step through the response. And don't be afraid. I mean, the number one rule with dealing with media is don't be afraid to ask them for their number, ask them what their deadline is, what exactly the question is and the information that they need, and then call them back.
Fantastic. Susie, do you want to add any comment to Jack's words?
I might just reiterate what Jack said. I've been in that situation a couple of times when the media has rung my mobile, and it's pretty confronting and a little bit scary to begin with. I think on any occasion like that, the best thing to do is to buy yourself some time, and I've asked for their number. I've been to our communications team within our institute and spoken to them about the appropriate strategy, and that's really, it's about building a strategy in the time frame that you need to build a strategy.
Great. Michelle, would you like to add any further comments?
Yeah, this is a cracker opportunity. I would see this as a bit of a moment, actually. Do all what they said, but I know, she hates the microphone, doesn't she? But it is a good opportunity, and this is where courage and confidence comes into play here. Do not take a step back. I've seen so many female scientists and medicos that I work with who go, over to you, and defer to a senior person. This is your research. Step up to the plate, for goodness sake. So in the background, this might happen as a bit of a, oh my goodness, crisis moment, and if you do have to pass it off, pass it off. But my advice to you is go back to your comms team and say, I'd love to do media training. Media training is the best thing you can do for your career, I think, as somebody who wants to step up into a leadership role. Because to go with a team, I'm sure you do this, Jack, don't you, with lots of people, you put them in front of a camera and you hypothetical, and you give people that experience of putting the phone down, thinking, strategising, planning. These are presentation skills, and if you work in the STEM industries, you're presenting at conferences all the time, or you're presenting to boards. Extend that out and do it in front of the media. It is scary, but I can tell you it will not be time wasted. It is such a good opportunity for you.